This is Gorilla Monsoon.
And your host, Bobby the Brain.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Primetime Wrestling here on the USA Network, where we feature the superstars of the World Wrestling Federation. We've got a whole host of them this week, Bobby, including special appearance by the world's heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan, with some verbal response to all this garbage that's gone down between you and Paul Orndorff.
Well, that's why I'm wearing black this evening.
Are you mourning, right?
I'm mourning the demise of Hulkamania.
Highly unlikely that Hulkamania will ever be demised, especially by the likes of you. We're also going to take a look this week at Ricky the Dragon Steamboat in action, along with the Leaping Lanny Poffo, the poet laureate of the World Wrestling Federation. He teams up with C.V. Offey, who incidentally did recover from that injury sustained in Toronto.
And a response by Hulk Hogan.
We already said that.
I know. I just want the people to know that you're going to hear the world's heavyweight champion on here making excuses.
Telling the truth is more like it. And, of course, our feature match this week, Davey Boy Smith against Greg The Hammer Valentine. Maybe Valentine is looking for a little revenge for Brutus Beefcake and the loss that he had to absorb last week at the hands of Dynamite.
Also, the world's heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan, will be out here.
I'm glad you're really
talking
pitching
to you.
The
Oh,
champion.
yeah. I want the people to hear all this so-called response. It's a cop-out. He's a whiner. He's just a whiner.
He's not a whiner. He's the world's heavyweight champion. In addition, we're going to have the Rougeau brothers joining us in tag team competition. And before we get to that match, we're going to take a look at the Rougeaus in a little different light as we show you what kind of fantastic athletes they are. Let's go to the St. Lawrence Seaway. Talk about living dangerously. These guys do it in and out of the ring, Bobby.
You know, I remember about a year ago, Raymond and Jacques Rougeau used to do a lot of water skiing, but Raymond couldn't get up out of the water.
Well, did you see the freighter in that shot?
Yeah, but the reason he couldn't get up is because Jacques couldn't roll that quick.
Did you see the freighter that they were alongside in that shot?
That was
that
a
was
freighter?
in course in case King Kong Bundy wanted to go water skiing.
Well, you'd need it.
Right now, wrestling fans, we're going to take a look at the Rougeau brothers in tag team
More
action as they
Rougeau.
take on Les Thornton and Terry Gibbs.
Well,
These
this-
are future
this never
superstars
ends.
of the World Wrestling Federation. Let's go.
This tag team match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Florida, weighing 240 pounds, Terry Gibbs. His partner from Manchester, England, weighing 247 pounds, Les Thornton. Their opponents from Montreal, Quebec, with a combined weight of 484 pounds, Jacques and Raymond, the Rougeau brothers.
Tremendous hand here this week for the Rougeau brothers. Gorilla Monsoon here at ringside, joined by Lord Alfred Hayes. Joining me this week here in the broadcast position. Welcome, Alfred.
Well, thank you. These boys, Jacques Rougeau and Raymond Rougeau, 3 years ago, or 3 winters ago, I was up in the Gaspé Peninsula, Quebec, and I saw them for the first time, and I was very impressed indeed. Not only with the Rougeau brothers, but the Gaspé Peninsula. I suppose you've been there.
Absolutely. There isn't too many places I haven't been over these 20-something years, Alfred.
How about Chicoutimi? Do you
Oh,
remember that place?
Chicoutimi, yes. Driving through that forest in Chicoutimi where anything could come out at you.
Yes, least of all a moose. Good teamwork by the Rougeau brothers, just excellent teamwork, and I think that has been the mark of their success. If you watch them, once again, just good teamwork.
Well, the tag team action hot and heavy right now, as always, here in the World Wrestling Federation. So many exciting things going on with the current reigning champions, the British Bulldogs, Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith, and of course our friend Bobby the Brain Weasel Heenan. Really bent out of shape about this fantastic Japanese team, the Machines, claiming that one of them is in fact Andre the Giant.
Yes, that is true. Yes, I have seen the clips of their matches from Japan, which were sent over just recently. I watched them very, very carefully, and I refrained from comment.
No comment by his lordship. Well, he went so far as to reach Jack Tunney, the president of the World Wrestling Federation, had a meeting set up with him, and Jack Tunney said, "Can you prove that that is Andre the Giant?" And of course, the Brain could not.
Oh, look at that forearm there by Les Thornton.
He's a master at that. They learned that at a very early age.
Really, and that is Jacques, who's in the ring right now on the receiving end of some terrible punishment from Terry Gibbs.
But the important thing, I believe, that came out of that meeting between Heenan and the World Wrestling Federation president, Jack Tunney, was that Mr. Tunney said, in fact, if he found out that that indeed was Andre, he would be suspended for life.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
Well, that is a severe penalty. Would they have a legal thing to do that? Is that possible?
I'm sure Jack Tunney has the power to do that, as the president of the World Wrestling Federation.
Jacques trying to make a tag to his brother Raymond here, and that is exactly what he's got to do, because he's found himself on the wrong end of the punishing moves of Les Thornton and Terry Gibbs. Thornton in the ring, nice side suplex, but cannot hold Jacques for long.
I didn't see any tag made there. Maybe
No,
there
I
was.
didn't. I was going to say that their teamwork is so good.
Terry
so far,
Austin
so
is
to
looking
say.
around. He's looking to see, well, how come I didn't see that tag? Oh, small package coming up here. Could be all over. Oh, just got out. Terry Gibbs sort of floats in and out of the World Wrestling Federation here. Does he have some kind of a sidetrack job, Alfred?
I really don't know, but I know that he has been seen several times in the vicinity of Florida, not wrestling and just passing his time. I don't know what he does, quite honestly.
Maybe independently wealthy and just does this for laughs or for kicks. And if he's doing it for laughs, he's doing the wrong thing, I'll tell you that.
I would definitely think so, especially right now with Raymond giving him that clipping blow.
Uh-oh, look out now. Gibbs and Thornton have the upper hand here. Slingshot effort. No, nice reversal by the Rougeaus. Oh, what a drop kick right to the side of the head.
Oh!
And Thornton is out of there. Look at this. The cover's down. 1, 2. It's over.
What a drop kick from the top rope that was by Jacques Rougeau.
Sometimes I have trouble keeping them straight, Alfred, whether it's Jacques or Raymond. They're so quick, they're in and out. Let's get the word.
The winners of the match, Jacques and Raymond, the Rougeau brothers.
Jacques and Raymond, most impressive, the Rougeau brothers here this week in the World Wrestling Federation. And boy, the crowds have really taken to them. They are exciting. You can't deny that. Robert?
Are they going to be on in the later portion of this program?
No, the champion's going to be on in the later portion of the program.
Wow, we're done with the Rougeaus then for this evening, right?
For this week, yes.
Thank heavens.
Why, you're tired of looking at them because you know sooner or later that King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd are going to have to face them and maybe topple whatever plans they had for the
You know, I hope the Rougeaus are the #1 rated team in wrestling, because when we whip them like that, then we'll be #1.
Well, you guys haven't been whipping anybody of late. In fact, you haven't been deemed #1 challengers yet, have you?
I believe so, yes.
You haven't?
Yes, I believe
You
so.
believe that you haven't?
No, I believe we have.
Highly unlikely that you have.
No, it's highly likely that we have.
Well, we're going to see plenty of exciting things this week here in primetime, the least of which, of course, and the most important in everyone's mind, is the champion. He's going to join us. We're back, fans, and another team that's hot right here in the World Wrestling Federation right now, of course, the Funk brothers, Jimmy Jack and Hoss, but Jimmy Jack is seen to take individual competition this week, Bobby, and meeting Tony Gurria.
I believe Jimmy Jack will take anything you throw at him. He's that off the wall.
Well, he doesn't, for sure he doesn't have both oars in the water, and Jimmy Jack leaves a lot to be desired in that respect, but he remains to be a very dangerous individual. We're going to join this match in progress. Let's go to it. Jimmy Jack and Gurria.
I could willingly bash him over the noggin with that thing.
I threw him off with 2 of the programs at prime time.
Come on, he never made it through. Come on, baby.
Threw him right off the air. I couldn't take him anymore.
Yes, I happened to observe one of those. You chased him off more than...
He reminds me of one of the, it's got to be one of the greatest walking advertisements for birth control I've ever seen. Look out. Oh, nice clothesline by Jimmy Jack. Caught Tony coming in looking for something. Not going to work on him. He's relentless once he gets the upper hand
It
on you.
really is. Those glancing fist blows to the top of the head can damage your head, but at the same time, I'm wondering about the state of the knuckles. You hit a man a glancing blow like that, you can break your hand so easily.
There you go.
Compound fight.
Beautiful, baby. Beautiful.
Try to rearrange the facial expression of Mr. Gurria.
Jimmy Jack, you got it, baby. You got it.
There's Jimmy Jack. Oh, look at that. Raking the eyes right along the top rope. Come on, Dick, get on his case there.
There you go. Stay on it, baby. Stay on it, Jimmy Jack.
I'm afraid Gurria's going to have to resort to some physical violence of his own here, because pure wrestling skill is not going to be enough to beat Jimmy Jack.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And that is what Gurria was relying on. He made some very nice opening moves, but I'm afraid they were ineffectual with regard to wearing Jimmy Jack down. He's not doing it.
Reverse chin lock right now by the Psycho Case. Jimmy Jack
Give it up, Pop. Come on, give it up, baby.
trying to wear down
This
Tony.
is the future in professional wrestling, baby. Jimmy Jack.
I see he has the mark of the double cross ranch on that strange type.
What
What could you
guys in
call
their
it?
right mind would
Mask?
name their place the Double Cross?
It shows what their psychological outlook is, doesn't it?
They only do their branding at night, I understand, for various reasons.
Yes.
Look at this, using the ropes for a little advantage here.
And it's not because they can't see in the dark.
Little distraction job being done here by the mouth of the South. And once again, Jack has both feet up on the second rope. Dick, that rope's not moving by itself.
No, Dick was a bit late there, but at the same time, he didn't come fourth down, so Gurria can consider himself a little lucky to have escaped a travesty of justice there.
Tony Gurria hunting around the World Wrestling Federation for a tag team partner, I understand. Should he be able to capture that title once again, it would be the 6th time for him.
How fantastic. And I would imagine there are plenty of people who would like to team up with him, but whether they have the credentials that Tony's looking for, I obviously don't know.
Tony with a nice shoulder block, and now a high sunset over the top. Couldn't hold the shoulder down. Caught one right between the eyes.
He did. Unfortunately, he didn't get that right shoulder pin.
Well, that's the only time you want to use that sunset flip, Alfred. You're wide open. You're facing the opponent's legs. Yes. Boy, when he plants one right on your kisser, you'll remember it for a week or so to come, for sure.
I can still remember a few that were planted on
Oh, my God, yes. Permanent injuries. Look at him. Every minute on everybody's case.
Isn't it a disgrace to the WWF?
He should be locked in the dressing room. Shouldn't be allowed out here at all.
Well, he'd find a way. He'd probably be able to pick the lock.
No, probably. Very devious individual.
He certainly is. What was that you said? He's a good advertisement for something or other?
Birth control.
Birth control.
Walking advertisement for birth.
Yes.
Tony trying to get out of this reverse chin lock before the tank starts to become empty. Something you have to worry about when you get in there with the likes of this individual.
I've noticed something about Tony Gurria lately. He's been reaching back into his list of or his repertoire of wrestling moves, because I've noticed him using a few European style moves of late.
Well, a lot of these Johnny Come Latelys haven't seen that type thing. Could be very effective. Oh, Tony slipped right over the top. Reverse sunset roll up. Got the leverage now. Tony raised up a little bit on that, Lord, and enabled him to kick out of it. I'm surprised maybe he had a stomach cramp.
It's possible. There may have been, he may have sustained an injury along the course of this match that is not quite obvious to us right now. Especially as the way he seems to be suffering. He keeps going into this chin lock by Jimmy Jack, and he doesn't have any apparent answer for it right at this moment. Gurria, of course, a very resourceful wrestler, and you can't really tell when he's in this position. Well, good grief, what is wrong with that fellow?
He is sick.
He really is. I was going to say that Gurria, you can never tell. He may be in a defensive position, but he's thinking all the time. And he's obviously sticking with his prearranged, could you call it, battle plan?
Game plan, yes.
Game plan, and he's going to make it successful. At least he hopes he's going to.
Tony struggling here to get out. Gets a knee right in the lower abdomen. What is this? What are you doing here, Jimmy? Why are you here? Oh, no. Beautiful suplex by Tony. Your man is in trouble.
A reverse suplex there by Gurria, and he pulled that off magnificently. In fact, it's the first time I've seen Jimmy Jack a little bit stunned.
I think the batteries are about worn out on your megaphone, so we can hardly hear it anymore.
You know, you're going to be sorry. You know, 10,000 comedians out of work, and you're trying to be one, Gorilla Monsoon, but I promise you this. We're going to win this match. I promise you.
You promise they're going to win the match. That made everyone's day.
Oh, really? He's working himself up into such a sweat.
Gurria trying to put the youngster away. Pleading for mercy now in the corner, Jimmy Jack.
I think it stemmed from that reverse suplex that Gurria managed to pull off there. He stunned the masked man, and now Jimmy Jack is in trouble.
Maybe a peel out of the corner here, yes.
Nice one, good
look out, drop kick coming up. Caught him right in the sternum. He wants time now. It looks disgusting. Tony's about to jerk him right out of the corner. Gurria, for my money, is wasting a little time here, Alfred.
He is indeed. He should not do that. That could be fatal. That is a mistake, an error. I'm very surprised to see a veteran-type wrestler like Gurria wasting that time. That's a shame.
Mouth of the South just said to Jimmy Jack, you're doing good, keep it up. Can you believe that? Ducked underneath the clothesline, Gurria did. Another high cross body, didn't make it. Got caught up in a bear hug. Watch out. Dangerous position. Power slam by Jimmy Jack. Hooks the leg. It's over.
Tremendous feat of strength there by the young Funk. He just juggled with that dead weight and managed to turn it into a power slam. What a feat of strength.
upset here in Madison Square Garden. Jimmy Jack Funk putting the 3 count on Tony Garea. Let's get the official word.
Winner of this bout, Jimmy Jack Funk.
Holy mackerel. Tony Garea looking a little bit lethargic in the twilight of his career.
Well,
Robert,
you just ought to turn the lights
did I wake
off.
you?
Well, watching Tony Garea is always one of my pleasures because I get a little chance to nap.
Well, I know you won't fall asleep later on because we have the world's heavyweight champion making an appearance with us, and his response to all the garbage that's thrown around here by you and Mr. I won't say it.
Wonderful.
I won't say
Go
it.
ahead.
I refuse to say it
Please,
anymore.
be my guest.
Paul Orndorff. I'll refer to him as Paul Orndorff.
Mr. Wonderful.
You know, earlier on we saw some tremendous tag team. We talked about the Rougeaus, we talked about the Funks, we talked about the champions. Let's talk about somebody really exciting in tag team competition, the Machines.
I mean Bundy and Studd.
I
Let's
didn't
talk
say
about them.
Bundy and
No,
Studd.
I'd like to talk about Bundy and Studd. I don't want to talk about the Machines
Why not?
because I'm sick and tired of talking about Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant, indeed, possibly one of the Machines. One never knows. Stay with us. We'll be back with the Dragon. We're back, wrestling fans.
Now Hogan, right?
No. Hogan is not. Later on in the program, Bobby. Right
Now I
now, we're
hear
going to take a look at one of the most dynamic individuals here in the World Wrestling Federation, a guy with tremendous power, tremendous skills, tremendous mastery of what goes on inside the ring, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. No, we're not going to take a
We're not
look
going
at
to see
him.
Mr. Wonderful?
Paul Orndorff is not scheduled to be with us right now. We're going to take a look at the Dragon as he takes on Moondog Rex. Let's go to the ring.
Until, in fact, right now, he's probably one of the best there is.
No question about that, Alfred. And he really got a negative attitude as part of one of the Saturday night's main events when the Jake the Snake Roberts put the DDT on him right on the concrete, sent him to the hospital for a couple of days, and since then, it's been a vendetta.
It really has. He's a changed man, too. All his moves now are destined to really hurt and cripple you, and he is not going to stand for any nonsense from people like Jake the Snake again.
Look at that ominous, I don't know, pterodactyl bone, I guess, hanging from the ring post.
Definitely some sort of prehistoric relic, that.
Trademark of the Moondogs. And this is the biggest member of the Moondog team, Rex, well over that 300-pound mark. Tremendous challenge for the Dragon.
He's a husky fellow, isn't he?
I understand, Alfred. I did not see it myself, but many fans have told me that on national television, the Dragon introduced some kind of a real live dragon.
Yes, I heard that. Like yourself, I didn't see it either, but apparently it was some type of monitor or something from way down in Central America where they very seldom have these things.
Snake eating.
A snake-eating dragon, yes, exactly. And apparently huge.
Glad it wasn't one of those Komodo dragons. They're human eaters.
I think that's what it was. I have an idea that's what it was, a Komodo dragon or something.
I guess you have to fight fire with fire. Jake the Snake Roberts, whenever he enters the ring, whether it's to wrestle or not, he's dragging that ominous green satchel along with him with either a cobra or a python or something in there.
Yes, he really is.
High crossbody by the Dragon won't be able to hold a big guy down.
He moves deceivingly fast, you know, Rex. Both Moondogs do. Of course, they were the world tag team champions, so they have a lot of experience.
They too were under the tutelage of Captain Louis Albano, the guiding light when they won the title.
Yes, that is a fact.
Now Captain Lou has the British Bulldogs, the newly crowned champions.
I didn't think that ploy would work. I saw Moondog Rex trying to lure the Dragon into a trap there, but there was no way he was going to catch it.
Dragon a little bit too smart for that. Beautiful reverse knife edge right underneath the chin, very close to that esophagus area, which could constitute an automatic disqualification if the referee so desires. But this vendetta is going to be going on for quite some time between the Dragon and Jake the Snake Roberts. I'm sure of that.
Absolutely. Look at the Dragon. He has such good posture in the ring. His balance is always perfect. He is now alert at all times, watching every move. And can really soak up punishment that we've seen, but at the same time he can dish it out as well.
Maybe somewhere down the line, Alfred, we'll get to see a very unorthodox tag team combination. Roberts and the Snake against Steamboat and the Dragon.
Oh,
That would be interesting,
that
would
would
it
be
not?
very, very interesting.
The ringside area would be quite a ways away from
Yes,
the ring, I'm sure.
I think they'd clear the ringside area for that. That snake that he has, is that the one he calls Damien?
Damien, yeah.
Oh,
What a name for a snake, Damien.
yes. He has another one he calls Son of Sam.
Oh. Jake the Snake Roberts, certainly someone to reckon with here in the World Wrestling Federation. Nice block of the right hand and unloads with a chuck right between the eyes and another one. Of course, Rex coming in here, look out, rammed into the top turnbuckle, being announced from parts unknown.
No, I wonder why that would be, parts unknown. I wonder what they mean by that, exactly, parts unknown. Does that mean he's crept out of a kennel
I
somewhere?
think he maybe Grace's Kennel or something. Hoboken, New Jersey or somewhere. Side headlock now by the Dragon, trying to control the big 300-pounder.
Look at Steamboat, always on balance, as we said before.
That black headband is significant of something else, but it has something to do with that confrontation. Nice shoulder block. Tremendous balance, as you said. Look at the quickness. Reverse hip lock. Well executed.
Super move there by the Dragon. A really good wrestling move. And Rex is beginning to wonder what he's got to do to slow the Dragon down, because he certainly hasn't been able to do that. And not only that, the Dragon gets him down and starts to wear him down.
It seems, Alfred, excuse me, ever since the Dragon came here to the World Wrestling Federation, that he's been besieged by sort of a 2-against-1 type team. First it was Morocco and Fuji, and having to keep an eye on Fuji all the time. Now he's got to worry about the Snake. It might behoove the Dragon to get somebody to sort of watch his back.
Yes, he's a loner. I don't know if you know much about him. I really don't. He's not easy to speak to. He's a quiet person. He seems to be able to live with his own thoughts. He likes a lot of privacy.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat obviously having some problems with the big 300-pounder Rex Moondog. I don't know, the Dragon of late seems to be preoccupied with one thing and one thing only, and that is Jake the Snake Roberts on his mind. We'll be back with the exciting conclusion in just a moment. We're going to have some words of wisdom now from the brain. Why is it that the Dragon wears that bandana and that other one around his leg, Bobby?
I don't know, but I'll tell you I know why his matches lately he looks worried. I think the bandana's too tight. I think it's cutting off oxygen to his knee.
Let's go back to ringside
Well,
for
you
the
asked
conclusion,
me.
wrestling fans.
I've never seen him really tag team with anybody quite long.
He has a younger brother, Alfred, that runs one of the Dragon's gymnasiums that's very well put together, and maybe he could get his brother to sort of set him up.
Yes, and the brother does wrestle too.
He does? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, he was very, very prominent amateur wrestler with a good state background. So maybe he'll introduce me to the professional ranks.
Well, it certainly would not be a bad idea. The Dragon has certainly had his problems since entering the World Wrestling Federation, but has seemed to survive it all.
He has indeed, and it's made him a tougher man too.
Determination, conscientiousness, he's got all those attributes, as well as the speed and the mastery of the martial arts, which has certainly brought him a long way. Right now, this reverse chin lock he forces the big guy back into the corner, right underneath the sternum. You didn't have the right amount of breath in your body at that time. It's all gone. Oh, look at that. Ran right into the big D.
That's that deceptive speed that Moondog Rex has. Now look at this, 300 pounds. Oh,
Nobody home.
thank goodness for the Dragon, because that would have spelled the finish for him right there and then. Now look at him.
Karate shot right between the eyes. Another reverse knife edge. Well, close only counts in hanging eggs and horseshoes. That's what our friend Mean Gene would say.
Gene's always
Another
saying
colleague,
that.
yes.
I'm going to find some English equivalent. I don't know what yet. Coconut shies or something. I really don't know.
Dragon now on the receiving end as he went flying over that top rope, but managed to hook the bottom rope and stay in there and keep from going to the concrete. Missed the shoulder block. Oh, nice knee lift.
Yes, Rex was very good there because he had an idea that that's what the Dragon was going to do, and he managed to avert that.
Rams him into the top turnbuckle.
Rex is doing quite well at the moment. In fact, he's doing exceptionally well at the moment.
Dragon did not particularly want to come back in that way. That's going to be hard
Look
way
at that.
to come back into the ring.
He drove that knee into the forehead of the Dragon.
Tide has turned here in this match. Scoop slam. Oh, he just drove him down into the canvas. It's one thing to pick a guy up and turn him loose, but he drove him with a vengeance.
Really did, and you've got to hand it to Rex because he was on the wrong end of some punishment a little while ago, and yet look at him now. Oh, nice!
Backbreaker, well executed. Over for the cover. We could have a big upset here. 1 count, 2. Oh, Dragon just got that left arm and sold it up out of there. Referee was coming down with a 3 count.
If Rex had taken his leg there, it would have been history.
Chant going out from this capacity crowd. Steamboat. They want to see some offense come out of the Dragon, get some adrenaline flowing in that body that's been beaten on here for the last several minutes. Well, that'll get your attention.
That's all the pressure in your eardrums.
Reverse slingshot, big back drop. Oh, it came right down on his right side.
Rex is still going to Yes, he does. Just like I'm feeling it right now.
Steamboat cry coming from the youngsters here, as well as the oldsters.
Yes, he certainly has his cheering sections.
Look at this. Oh, neck breaker. Dragon's in deep trouble here this week in the World Wrestling Federation. Referee with a 1 count only.
Rex can do everything to him. He just cannot seem to get those shoulders down for 3 though.
Where's he going now? Unorthodox place for him to be. He got caught.
That wasn't a Rex move at all.
He didn't have enough time. He needed about a half an hour to complete that particular segment. Look at this slam. The Dragon now going to the outside. He's perched up there and he's at home up there. Look out, flying. Oh, karate right between the eyes. Over for the cover. Didn't get it.
So close though, but did you see the difference in speed there? Rex certainly wasn't at home on the top ropes, but the Dragon was.
Oh, nice reversal there by the Dragon. Some quick footwork done. Big backdrop. Take the wind out of me. 1 time Charlie. Up again. Perched up there some 15 feet high. Waiting like a cat. Look at Rex. Doesn't have a clue. High cross body. Down. Hooks the leg. Get the hot shower ready. This was a hard-fought victory.
It really was. Some fantastic moves in the end there by the Dragon. He certainly didn't run out of power, that's for sure, although he took a lot of stick.
Here is your winner, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Wow. We certainly are going to be seeing a lot more of the Dragon, but I honestly believe that Steamboat should not wrestle anyone else, Bobby, until he's finished with this thing that he has going between him and Jake the Snake Roberts, because he's obviously preoccupied with that because he had a tough time with Rex.
Well, anyone's going to have a tough time with Rex. The man's over 300 pounds. But
They're
Steamboat
not in the same category as far as I'm
No,
concerned.
they're not. They're not. Steamboat doesn't have the credentials Rex has.
Please, give me a break.
Steamboat shouldn't occupy his thoughts with anything because the man is incapable of thinking.
I got another bone to pick with you, Brain. When you are assigned to do a television broadcast of any kind with me, please don't send anybody to take your place. Least of all, Slick. Give me a break, Bobby.
Well, I had other things to do. I thought Slick would add some interesting insight.
Right now, let's go to Ken Resnick, another one of my colleagues, along with Special Delivery Jones.
I like Slick.
All right, well, thank you very much, Gorilla Monsoon, and, if you will, co-host Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now, wrestling fans, you see behind me the letters WWF, and you well know it stands for World Wrestling Federation. And one man, literally, who travels around the world, SD Special Delivery Jones. And SD, first off, it's great to have you at least for a few days back in the United States.
Thank you very much.
But now, where, as of late, you've been literally all over the world.
Yeah, we just got back from Australia. We had a very good tour. It was very successful.
And before that, SG?
We were down in Kuwait, one of those Arabian countries. We stopped off in Vienna, and then we got back here.
I'll tell you, when we talk about a globe-trotting wrestler, it's certainly SD Special Delivery Jones. Now, SD, if memory serves me correctly, a couple of weeks back, right here in Primetime Wrestling, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and myself watched a tape match of you teaming up with a gentleman by the name of Paul Roma, and we all remarked what a tremendous team you and Mr. Roma make.
He's a good friend of mine. He's young, he's fast, you know, and we're trying to put our things together, you know. Maybe for the future we might get a shot at something, so we're trying to do our best.
Now, SD, this team of you and Paul Roma, was that the exception or more the rule? On the world tours, do you normally team up with Paul?
Yeah, he's been with me for the past 3 tours, 4 I should say, the 1 in Kuwait and 3 in Australia. And we're looking forward to go back to Australia with the team again, you know. Most likely, I like the man, you know, he needs a little bit of touching up, but in time he'll get there, you know. I'm an old veteran, I've been there 12, 15 years, so with me and, you know, putting them together, we'll be all right.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You and Paul Roma make a very formidable tag team. And Dean, I would imagine, like all the teams here in the World Wrestling Federation, at one time or another, you would love a shot at the tag team champion.
Yeah, it's a long ways because there's a lot of guys up front there. But like I said, he's young, and it takes time to get there. So we'll put it together and probably get a shot someday.
Well, remember the team, SD Special Delivery, Jones and Paul Roma. Now, stay with us. We'll be back with more Prime Time right after this.
We're back, wrestling fans. Still to come this week here on Primetime Wrestling, Hercules Hernandez, the powerhouse. We're going to take a look at Billy Jack Haynes and, of course, Davey Boy Smith and Greg the Hammer Valentine and the world's heavyweight champion.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what kind of propaganda he's going to try to lay on these poor humanoids out here this
Well,
evening.
everything that isn't the truth that you expound on is propaganda, but the champ will let us in on the true facts. You can bet.
Sure.
Special tag team match coming up. CV Afi, let's go to the ring.
Introducing first to my right, from Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 276 pounds, Al Navarro. His partner from Columbia, South Carolina, at 221 pounds, Jimmy Kent. Their opponents from the Isle of Samoa, weighing 241 pounds, CV Afi. His partner from Downers Grove, Illinois, at 252 pounds, Leaping Lenny Poffo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Leaping Lenny has a poem for us all.
Siva Afi from Samoa is a very peaceful man. He'd rather save his talking for the ring. But now that we're together with his big Hawaiian punch, I'll just hold the rope and watch him do his thing.
Well, another tremendous poem by the poet laureate of the World Wrestling Federation, Leaping Lenny Poffo, Gorilla Monsoon here at ringside. Another capacity crowd on hand for this World Wrestling Federation card, and a tremendous tag team combination here in CV Afi and Leaping Lenny as they face Jimmy Kent in the ring right now, along with Al Navarro. Al, a big boy, and Lanny starting off. Oh, no clean break there. Look out, Lanny pushed into the corner. Oh, nice backflip right out of nowhere. Single leg trip, beautiful maneuver. And a drop kick. As Navarro was not paying attention, just standing there on the apron, he got woke up in a hurry. Boy, you got to keep your eyes open all the times when Leaping Lanny's in there, as well as when CV Afi is. Afi, obviously, I don't know who's the more agile of the two. I would have to say Afi, but Lanny can certainly do some spectacular things. Off the rope, nice shoulder block. Down in front quickly, Jimmy Kent over the top, 1 foot leapfrog there. Oh, look at that power maneuver there, as he was about to be scoop slammed by Mr. Kent, and instead, Afi turned the tables. Al Navarro comes rushing in and going to get slammed for his problems, for his trouble. Drop kick out of nowhere. Tremendous speed on this team. Certainly tag team action hot and heavy right now in the World Wrestling Federation as the current champions, look at this nice head scissors out of a handstand. Current champions, the British Bulldogs, taking on all comers. hot in their pursuit, the Dream Team. Brutus Beefcake, Greg The Hammer Valentine, they want their title back, as well as the Hart Foundation and the Funks, and the list just goes on and on. Nikolai Volkov, the Iron Sheik. Right now in the World Wrestling Federation, I don't think I've ever seen tag team competition more hot than it is right now. Big El Navarro in there now, going to work on Leaping Lanny. Got him in the wrong part of town, so to speak. Tag made. Well, he didn't have both feet on the apron when he made that tag, and nevertheless, Jimmy Kent coming off the top turnbuckle. Plants a nice boot right to the facial area of Leaping Lanny. Scoop slam. Kent and Navarro working over Leaping Lanny Papa on their side of the ring. Look at this. Oh, stealing the page. Look at that. Lanny's long gone, and Kent doesn't even know it. Oh, look at that. What? Tremendous back fall, face first down into the ring. Tag made. Hoppy steps in and plants a karate kick right to the jaw. Once again, Navarro in another world out there on the apron. And Seavey going to work now on Jimmy Kent. In for the ride, look out. Oh, nice chop, partial headbutt, partial chop. Oh, that was all headbutt over for the cover. 2 count only. Tag made as Lanny comes in, full speed ahead. Another scoop slam. Jimmy Kent absorbing a whole lot of punishment. Watch out, backflip. Hooks the leg, get the shower ready. Very impressive victory this week here in the World Wrestling Federation. Applause galore for this fantastic combination right here of Leaping Lanny Poffo and CV Api. Let's get the official word.
Your winners, the team of Leaping Lanny Poffo and CV Api.
I'll tell you this, we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of those two in the weeks and months to come here in the World Wrestling Federation as the tag team action continues to be extremely hot and heavy. Dangerous maneuvers on both of their parts. You know, I never seen you do anything like that in the ring. I know when I was active as a professional, I did some cartwheels and some flying head scissors and drop kicks, but never any of that aerial stuff off the ropes, because if you make a mistake, good night, it's over.
Well, Hulk Hogan made a mistake.
What's that?
Trying to live off the reputation of Paul Orndorff.
Why don't you stop?
I want to hear from Hogan. It's coming up right now, right?
No, it's not coming up yet. It's going to be on later in the program, but you're going to hear it all. Well, and I hope that Paul Orndorff is within earshot as well.
Mr. Wonderful to you.
No, I will not. I refuse to refer to him any longer under that name, because he is not. He's proven to me that he is now the reigning Benedict Arnold of the World Wrestling Federation. In fact, of the entire wrestling world.
Fine. Say whatever you want about him.
I will.
I know you
Freedom
will.
of speech. We're still.
That's why I'm here. Freedom of speech. I can say whatever I like.
Go ahead. The floor is yours. What do you want to say?
Well, I'll tell you what I'd like to say. Right now,
we'll be right back, wrestling fans, with plenty more exciting action, including Hercules Hernandez. Latest find of the fashion plate, Freddie Blassie, the cheapskate, who has now sold half of his interest in everyone in his stable. I can say stable for him, right?
Say whatever you want. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Slick, I'm sure, will be very disappointed along the way, because he's not going to get a fair shake of the money from the fashion plate. I guarantee you that, Bobby.
I wouldn't worry about Slick. He didn't get the name Slick for nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Let's take a look at the superhuman Hercules Hernandez.
Is Slick with him now?
For one fall. To my left, about to enter the ring, is the manager, the Hollywood fashion plate, Classy Freddie Blassie. And he represents, from Tampa, Florida, weighing 265 pounds, Hercules Hernandez. His opponent, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing 230 pounds, Tony Stetson.
And a youngster with a lot of guts here in the World Wrestling Federation to sign a contract that has the name Hercules Hernandez on it. The latest find of the fashion plate, Freddie Blassie from Tampa, Florida. And look at the size, upper body muscularity on this individual. A real powerhouse. I'm sure that he's looking for rougher competition here in the World Wrestling Federation than Tony Stetson. The youngster is going to have to pay the price, I'm afraid. Of course, there's always that odd thing. Anything and everything can happen in the realm of professional wrestling. And should young Tony Stetson be fortunate enough to get a win over a guy like Hercules Hernandez, well, that immediately pummels his career right up the ladder. However, more often than not, that doesn't happen. As of right now, it does not look too good for Tony. Look out! Rammed right into the top turnbuckle. And Hercules Hernandez having a good time. Blassie, I don't know how he gets these guys to sign a contract, the cheapskate. Never wants to part with any of his green that I know of. Driving the fist right down in the esophagus area. Certainly doesn't have to do that to beat this youngster. And now he's wide open, letting Tony take some shots at him.
That's it. Kick his
Drops him with big right hand right to the kisser. Third man in the ring, Gilberto Roman. Look now, Stetson in for the ride. Oh, what an elbow.
That's the way, Hercules.
Why doesn't he just cover the youngster and get it over with? Notice that Blassie's got all the diamonds on. He knows where the money goes. Elbow drop. He's not going to let him get pinned here. He's going to jerk him up by the hair. Give me a break. You know, referee has at his discretion any time to stop a match. He figures someone's career is in danger, as is the career of Tony Stetson. Could be injured permanently here, or even maimed. Well, that sounds so permanent. Maimed. Look out, vertical suplex. Oh, long way down. Blassie with a big grin on his face. Relatively easy competition for Hercules Hernandez this week here in the World Wrestling Federation. But you can bet there are some big guns that he'll have to come up against. Well, the youngster's about out of this. The referee can ring the bell at any time. I don't like to see this. Referee checking the youngster out right now. Uh-oh, there he goes, that patented behind the backbreaker. Got him, come on, referee, ring the bell. Youngster can't take that kind of punishment. Make him turn him loose now. Oh, look at that. Talk about trauma to the vertebrae area of the back. That'll do it right there. Most devastating backbreaker applied by that man right there, Hercules Hernandez. Let's
Your
get the
winner, Hercules Hernandez.
Powerhouse from Tampa, Florida. Latest find of the fashion plate, Freddie Blassie. Oh, come on, ref, don't let him do that. Let's go back and take a look at, oh, look at this. Hercules going to eliminate the youngster once and for all. Outside, flat on his back on the concrete. And Blassie jamming him with a cane here. There's no call for that either.
Wow, what a powerhouse. What are you doing, Bobby? Obviously, you weren't interested in watching Hercules Hernandez. Don't you managers have a thing going where you sort of, hello? Yes, we're here. It's prime time.
Oh,
what are you reading about?
I'm reading about King Kong Bundy.
Oh, I thought maybe you wanted to take a look at this magazine. This is the latest one from Japan, and this has a photo in it of the machines without the mask.
Oh, yes, without the mask.
That's right. No,
let me see that.
No way, shape, or form you're going to see that.
You do,
do you have 1,150 yen?
Well, let me check. I don't know. I might have it on me someplace.
Highly unlikely.
1,150 yen. That's got to be around
and you better
80
come up
cents.
with about 30,000 in
Yen?
American.
For what?
Well, you owe.
Let me see inside that magazine.
King
There's
Tonga.
nobody's
You owe
picture.
the world's heavyweight champion. You owe all kinds of people, Bobby. I don't know how you sleep at night.
Easy. I fluff the pillows, put my feet up, and relax.
Coming up,
I have a
wrestling
clear
fans,
conscience.
another one of the future superstars here in the World Wrestling
Let me see that
Federation, Billy Jack Haynes. Get away.
One time you're not going to do it to me again.
Not going to do what to you again?
Make me think there's something in that book and there's nothing.
Well,
in the
there
book.
is, and if you behave yourself for the remainder of the program, I might.
You might.
I
If
might.
not, we going to smack my knuckles with a ruler if I don't?
Well, whatever turns you on, I'll do it. Right now, wrestling fans, we're going to take a look at one of the premier athletes currently here in the World Wrestling Federation out of Portland, Oregon. Master of the full Nelson, one Billy Jack Haynes. Let's go down to ringside as he takes on a veteran in Steve Lombardi.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is scheduled for one fall. May I introduce first, from Portland, Oregon, weighing 246 pounds, Billy Jack Haynes. His opponent from Brooklyn, New York, weighing 248 pounds, Steve Lombardi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Gorilla Monsoon here at ringside with my longtime friend and colleague, His Lordship, Alfred Hayes.
Well,
Tremendous World Wrestling Federation matchup here, Alfred, as always, of course.
yes. I nearly spoke out of turn there, Gorilla. I was so excited at seeing Billy Jack Haynes. It's some time since I've seen him, and they are expecting big things from this young man.
Well, since his return, at one time he claimed to me earlier on, I was speaking with him in the locker room, said that about a year and a half ago he was going to step into the World Wrestling Federation and really didn't think he was quite ready at that time.
I believe that's what the line was that he gave me too, but I think he was right then. He was a little rough around the edges and he needed that extra experience. Apparently he's been away and he's got a lot of more experience and he seems to be showing that right now.
Steve Lombardi, of course, no stranger to the World Wrestling Federation, been around now, oh my God, it must be over a year, maybe 14, 15 months, and just developed tremendously.
He has, and he's had a good run of victories just recently. In fact, he's probably going through his best spell since he joined the World Wrestling Federation, or should I say, made his debut into professional wrestling.
Also asked Billy Jack what were his plans here, what are his objectives in the World Wrestling Federation. He's looking for the gold, Alfred. He's looking for that Intercontinental title currently held by the not-so-macho man, Randy Savage. And then the other title that's available, and they're all available here. Oh, nice. He's got a lot of quickness for a big man.
He has. He can put those moves together, and that's always the hallmark of a good wrestler. Well, an excellent wrestler, shall I say, because if you can string 2 or 3 moves together and make them successful, then you're really going to be on top of your opponent, just as Billy Jack is right now.
And of course, as we've seen of Billy Jack Haynes since his coming here to the World Wrestling Federation, he has mastered the full Nelson. Shades of the great Charles Atlas from years ago. Really can slap that thing on and put you away with it.
Yes, he can indeed. And look at those massive arms and shoulders. No wonder he's so good at that particular hold. The full Nelson is one of the most basic of all wrestling maneuvers, but at the same time still one of the deadliest maneuvers of wrestling.
Well, it creates such a great deal of pressure on the cervical vertebrae that the pain is just excruciating. It makes you want to quit right now, and most of them do.
Yes. Yes, it certainly made me want to quit when I was wrestling. I didn't like that move at all, I can tell you.
Nice backbreaker by Lombardi, but not enough to hold the big guy down.
Lombardi showing him, or showing me at least, that the improvement he's made recently is very, very obvious.
Well, Lombardi is Steve is a tough cook.
In either of those places.
Oh, look at that reverse knife. Beautiful execution there. Lombardi on the receiving end right now. Billy Jack Haynes, watch out.
Oh,
nice clothesline.
Nice move by Billy Jack Haynes. He's really fired up now. He's tearing into Lombardi and not giving him a chance.
He showed me something there, Alfred, being that he's so much taller than Lombardi. He dropped to a knee to give that particular move.
Good back suplex. Powerful back suplex.
Lombardi in a whole lot of trouble right now this week here in the World Wrestling Federation. Another capacity crowd on hand. Whenever the World Wrestling Federation decides to invade somewhere, it becomes the hottest ticket in town. Nice elbow.
Once again, Billy Jack has strung together about 4 different moves, and I'm sure Lombardi is thinking, why did I sign for this particular match against Billy Jack Haynes?
Terry Yorkston, referee, third man in the ring, checking out this front face lock because this is a submission hold as well, and a painful one at that. You gotta also be careful it doesn't slip in underneath the chin and become a chokehold.
Well, Terry Yorkston, he can look for all those.
Oh, he's been around a long time.
He has, hasn't he?
Almost as long as Terry Garvin.
I haven't seen Terry recently. What's happened to him?
Well, he's creating a lot of waves, I understand, up in the Greenwich area.
Yes, that's right. He's up in Connecticut, I heard.
Oh, look at this. Ring my bell one time.
Wow.
Lombardi has just lost every bit of offense that he started out with in this match, and now he's strictly just trying to recuperate.
Yes, the whole of the momentum here is with Billy Jack Haynes, I'm afraid. It doesn't appear that Lombardi has much of a chance against this powerful, powerful opponent.
Well, when this match started out, I thought maybe Lombardi would have a little bit of an edge in the speed department, but that hasn't proved to be true.
No, it certainly hasn't. And not only that, he's been outthought as well as outsped.
Oh, there it is. Slapped it on. The full Nelson. Oh, look at imagine the amount of pressure involved here. Lombardi doesn't waste any time. Good thing the referee was close enough to hear him screaming because he...
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Billy Jack Haynes.
Billy Jack Haynes chalking up a very impressive victory here this week in the World Wrestling Federation with that patented full Nelson of his. It's amazing, Alfred, that once he gets that tangled on, he doesn't have that trouble that a lot of guys have in getting those fingers turned loose after applying all that pressure. Very impressive individual, Billy Jack Haynes. He's got quite a future here in the World Wrestling
Talk
Federation.
about impressive. You made mention about Charles Atlas. I didn't know he wrestled. The Mighty Atlas.
Sure. His real name was Maury Shapiro.
But that's not the guy you see in the magazines.
The kicks the sand in your face
Yeah.
type? No, that's not the same person. This guy, when he slapped the full Nelson on you, you didn't have to worry about anybody kicking anything in your face.
Notice what I've assembled here.
Yes, I see it. Unfortunately, probably when you were a kid, you never had any toys, any dolls or anything to play with because you're already taken the World's Championship belt and put it around the waist of Paul Orndorff.
Mr. Wonderful. Just a matter of time.
Highly unlikely that
Just
will
a matter
ever
of
happen.
time. I had a lot of toys when I was a kid.
You did?
Yes. One was named Maryland. Had a Corvette. I had a summer home. Had a very nice speedboat.
What happened to all that stuff?
Then there was Jessica. And
please, give us a break.
then there was, Miss Betty.
Miss
Can't
Betty.
forget Miss Betty.
Let's not forget Miss Betty. Coming up this week here on Primetime
Marissa,
Wrestling, our feature,
Marlowe.
Davey Boy Smith, one half of the British Bulldogs in action. Well, wrestling fans, last week right here on Primetime Wrestling, we saw Brutus Beefcake go down at the hands of one Dynamite Kid, and maybe, just maybe, Greg the Hammer Valentine is looking for a little revenge here.
I thought you had some footage on Hulk Hogan.
We do. It's coming up, yes.
You just want me to wait, right?
I wouldn't disappoint the fans like you do and say you're going to have some footage about some big Korean guy
You
a
saw
few
it.
weeks
You
ago.
saw it.
Yeah, but you said you were going to deliver it that
I
day.
punished them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I punished them.
You punished them.
That's right.
I'd like to punish a couple of these guys right here.
Hey, easy.
Right now, wrestling fans, we're going to go to our primetime feature this week. Davey Boy Smith. Oh, that's nice. I like. Get rid of the other guy, too.
Hey, do you mind?
In action, Davey Boy Smith and Greg the Hammer Valentine. Let's go to ringside.
At 240 pounds, co-holder of the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championship, Davey Boy Smith. His opponent is managed by luscious Johnny Valiant. From Seattle, Washington, weighing 248 pounds, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Well, the referee was parading around the ring holding the belt up. This belt is not on the line, Alfred.
No, but I suppose he wanted a little bit of the glory of walking around with a championship
I guess
belt.
so, but it's certainly the tag team title not at stake here.
or any part of it.
Maybe he's a little
to referees.
Maybe he's a little excited from the last match, which was the championship match, and all of the things that went on in that match.
I'm sure. I'll tell you, Davey Boy Smith, a tremendous athlete. I would not want to be in his particular shoes on this particular occasion, because the Hammer
will be the Hammer tonight if he was ever the Hammer.
The Hammer is in a very, very, shall I say,
it's a
rough mood.
Right, it's a toss-up between him and Morocco, who sent the most men to hospital. And I think the Hammer may have the edge there. A very brutal, bruising, and brash wrestler. He doesn't waste any energy, and he can soak up punishment as I've never seen a man.
It was only in the last several days that the Greg the Hammer Valentine came to the realization that he got beat in WrestleMania 2 in front of close to 3 million people.
Well, more than anything, this man Greg the Hammer, know his capabilities. And his capabilities are unlimited in terms of each and out punishment.
Oh, look out, nice reversal. The Hammer in for the ride, and a clothesline coming off of there. Davey Boy, quick as a cat on that. As our good friend Clint Eastwood would say, man must know his capability.
Must know his capability.
Luscious one coming over.
What do you think about
words of encouragement?
What do you think about the good, bad, and ugly being the mayor out in California?
Well, I think he's going to do a lot of things in cleaning up a lot of places if he was given the opportunity.
Yes.
Davey Boy, look at, he is the powerhouse of the team of the Dynamite.
Well, these are the two powerhouses in here together. And Greg Valentine doesn't start functioning until he's been really punished and hurt and absorbed a lot of punishment.
Look at this. Greg has hooked his arms, got him in the corner. Greg might have him in trouble now.
Hammer not wasting any time. He starts unloading. Oh, he's a master at that short forearm uppercut.
Yes, yes.
He lays that in there better than anybody I know.
Right, they only travel a few inches, but they really...
And look at Dynamite now, turning the tables, and he's getting a few shots of his own in.
Boy, they can ring you, Bell.
One right behind the neck. You don't turn your back on these guys. 2 count, but the Hammer in no problem there of being pinned. Davey Boy goes to a nice armbar. Try to get some control in this match, because Valentine, if nothing else, can beat you with experience.
Can he ever? One of the things he must, I think, Davey Boy must pick an area and work on it and try to work the Hammer down if he expects to come out victorious. If he doesn't pick an area, select the area and work it down.
Oh, nice leapfrog by Davey Boy. It ducks underneath a big elbow, and a beautiful drop kick sends the Hammer reeling. You know, it's hard to grow up in the shadow of someone like Johnny Valentine and not pick up some of that greatness.
Yes, he picked up his durability as well.
You're also correct. And out of all of the second-generation wrestlers, I can assure you, Greg Valentine is a second-generation wrestler. And there are a lot of second-generation wrestlers around. But I can say Greg the Hammer is the greatest of all the second-generation wrestlers.
And he's got a natural mean streak. He didn't have to learn that from anybody.
And it shows all the time, too.
One of the great things that I think that he received from his father was endurance and the ability to absorb pain and issue it out.
Oh, Davey Boy turns a grapevine over into a Boston Crab. Nicely done here, but look at the Hammer. He's on his elbows.
How can he possibly do that? He must have tremendous upper body strength to do that.
Davey Boy is not sitting back with this, Alfred. If he was sitting back with it, it would be a submission hold for sure. But look at the Hammer. He's going to make it over to the ropes.
Well, I don't think he can sit back with
He couldn't sit back the way he had his feet trapped up under his arms.
Well, you're not going to make it a successful submission hold unless you can reel and sit back.
That was just a nicely executed move there by Davey Boy Smith.
Oh, talk about stretching out those hamstrings. That'll do it for you right there.
But I think the Hammer's worried about something else being stretched other than his hamstrings.
You would say something like that, don't you?
Oh, he's going to do it with the legs now. Get a little extra leverage there.
Ooh, locked that one in.
He locked them both down.
Sneak a few more inches.
But the Hammer's got one back up there. I don't know if Greg realizes how close he is to the ropes. He might be able to just lead back here and reach that bottom rope.
Gorilla, everybody looking at this, and they see that he doesn't have his hands on it.
Oh, there he is right now.
He heard you, Gorilla.
And to say a man should be able to move out of that. When your muscles are stretched like that, brother.
You're in so much pain you don't dare move.
You're correct.
Oh, from the outside. Going to bring the Hammer in the hard way. No, he
This
blocked
could be dangerous. He could suplex it right out of the ring.
Oh, whoa, that was close.
The Hammer's trying to suplex him over to the floor.
And Davey Boy got the upper hand.
Hard suplex.
Rolls him over for the cover. That right arm is out of there, and so is Valentine.
Valentine beginning to function a little bit better now. He's been hurt a few times.
He is just sadistic as far as when it comes to absorbing punishment.
And masochistic, too.
Let me share something with you about Greg the Hammer Valentine. You notice a lot of great athletes how their bodies are cut up and they lift for power and then for definition to look good. Greg the Hammer is a power lifter. He's not a bodybuilder. This is one of the reasons that stubby body of his can endure so much pain. He's definitely a power lifter.
Well, he's got that long muscle, that swimmer-type muscle, which is the stronger of the two for sure. And right now, Davey Boy fighting that power. He's got to get up off those shoulders and up off the canvas. As Luscious John, very close to the action, constantly, verbally talking to his man.
Let's go back into history a little bit.
Oh, look at this. Holy mackerel. He got caught.
I'm not saying anything about that.
No, you're not going to say anything, Alfred.
Don't forget, he's an Englishman.
The Hammer going to the outside. Not as hurt as bad as I thought he was. He's going to get caught up there. Oh, what a slam. 3/4 of the way across the ring. Davey Boy taking control of this match. Not going to get him.
As I said earlier, let's go back into history a little bit. One of the things that's so great about Greg the Hammer Valentine, he learned to go an extensive amount of time to wear his opponent down. This is what his dad was so great about. His dad would battle a man for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. A man might pound him for 5 or 10 minutes. He'd still hang in there and hang in there. At that 20-minute mark, the Valentine always...
Small package, hooks him up here, 1-2, no, close. Go. Action, hot and heavy in this one. What are you doing? You mean to tell me that Greg the Hammer Valentine and Davey Boy Smith is not exciting enough for you? You're reading a magazine?
Well, I'm just biding my time until they roll that footage of Hulk Hogan. That's what I'm out here for.
That's not coming up. It's not time for that
Oh,
yet.
it's not time. I've been out here almost 2 hours now.
We haven't even seen the conclusion of this match yet.
I don't care about this match. It has nothing to do with me. I want to see something about Hulk Hogan. I want to see what he has to say, this spineless man.
Wrestling fans, we'll be back with the most exciting conclusion of this tremendous match. Plenty of excitement still to come.
But he's scared to make a statement now.
Well, we're back.
Now we're going to show...
What is it?
Now
Go
we're
ahead.
gonna-
You have the floor. Go ahead.
Now we're going to show you what Hulk Hogan has to say.
No, we're not. We haven't shown the conclusion of the Valentine and Davey Boy Smith match yet.
Well, then let's roll it. I've got places to go. I got things to do.
You're obviously preoccupied and worried about the world's heavyweight
Why should
champion.
I be worried?
Wrestling fans, it's time now to go back down to ringside for this exciting conclusion. Let's go.
This endurance is going to take place. The stamina here in this match will determine who the victory is.
Well, Valentine's not going to run out of gas on you out there, that's for sure. You go to the bank with that, but the fact is that I don't think Davey Boy Smith will either.
No, he won't run out of gas, but I don't think his body is physically fit as a single wrestler the way Greg the Hammer Valentine has wrestled for so many years as a single champion.
Oh, I don't think that Davey Boy can absorb near as much punishment as the Hammer. No, I don't believe that. Hammer going to the outside, drops a forearm right across the back of the neck of Davey Boy Smith. Look out. Looking for a place to ram him right into the steel railing. And the Hammer bails in immediately to break that count.
Gorilla, the rules has changed so much from the time that you were wrestling and I was wrestling. We hit the floor and ram a guy's head into the post like that. We've been disqualified.
Disqualified immediately.
But you see, your call is changing with the times. You see, the athletes have changed so much in college to the time coming to pros. And the same things in pro and professional wrestling. And the World Wrestling Federation has upgraded wrestling so much. And they always study upgrading the rules also.
Time changes everything. The Hammer in control with the upper hand now. Referee's got to step in there and do his job.
You know, we were talking just prior to this how much punishment he can take, Valentine. Well, we've seen a few wrestlers wear themselves out trying to inflict punishment on Valentine.
No question.
But I don't think this is going to happen with the Dynamite Kid. He's a young, strong, resourceful boy. Yes, Davey Boy Smith, that's what I like. And if that's what Greg Valentine is thinking, he may jolly well have to reshape his game plan here.
Well, the confrontation on the outside as the luscious one came around, made a few derogatory remarks to Davey Boy, who immediately backed him up.
Let me take you back into history. A classic example of what you just spoke about. Muhammad Ali in his late years, fighting a young man from Houston, Texas. George Foreman. He gave the rope-a-dope to him. He pounded him on the ropes, and he wore himself out. Then Muhammad Ali came back and knocked him out.
Oh, the Hammer, after a nice suplex, dropped the big hammer right on Davey Boy and almost got a 3 count. Davey Boy in a whole lot of trouble right now at the hands of the Hammer, Greg the Hammer Valentine. He's trying to. This is the one that cost him the match right here. Davey Boy is the one who pulled the smarts move in that tag team title match. It was all on his part only. Even Dynamite didn't know what he was doing.
Didn't know what was coming, and there was a sacrifice where he more or less sacrificed his partner for the championship there. But I would say, wrestling-wise, the English boy has the edge, but power-wise, it's obvious now that Valentine does.
Look at the expression on Valentine's face. He's so confident. He's planning to take him in for quite a period of time and punish him, then wear him down and beat him.
Hammer trying to literally screw off the neck of Davey Boy Smith, but it doesn't work. Well, Luscious John saying there's nothing left on the part of Davey Boy. Front face lock now by the former champion.
This is the hold that his dad made so famous right here.
Front face lock has wore down many a guy over the years.
Yes, and the way he's got that applied.
David's trying to break it right now.
Not a pinning combination, but very, very successful in wearing down your opponent. No way, shape, or form is Davey Boy Smith in jeopardy of being pinned with this particular type hold.
He wants to give up.
It's not a submission hold either, contrary to what Luscious John is saying.
But it is definitely a wearing down hold.
Look how the arteries are increasing in size in David Boy's left arm. He's cutting the circulation off in his left arm.
Hammer turning around in front now, has a reverse half Nelson. It has now become a pinning combination if he gets him back over.
Davey Boy Smith is in trouble there. He just cannot get out of that hold applied by Valentine.
Well, he's got a 3/4 half Nelson with the arm hooked in underneath, makes it very, very difficult. Actually, the carotid arteries being pinched here at the same time, but still in control with the front face lock to Hammer. Davey Boy's got to come up and out from underneath there, or this match will be over very quickly.
I can share something with you. A young wrestler want to punch you, he want to kick you, he want to knock you out. Greg the Hammer Valentine is settled down to wear his opponent out, wear him down, punch him around, and watch him go right back to that front face lock again. He'll go right back to a hold.
He may be going for that figure 4 of his. Going to go to work on the leg. No, right up into just below the sternum area. Tremendous knee. That right arm of Davey Boy's is out of there.
No, it's just testing.
Look at the pain, the excruciating pain on the face of Davey Boy Smith as he's taking a shellacking right now from the Hammer.
He had the front face lock, and he come right back with a side headlock. He's still working on the neck and the head.
He gets you lulled into something, and then before you know it, he slaps that figure 4 on you, and it's all over.
This might be a back suplex, it is.
Not well executed. Davey Boy didn't have enough strength to get him all the way up there.
No, he didn't.
The Hammer sort of came down right on the middle of his back. He got stunned a little bit. Very haphazard cover.
Yeah, he hasn't got the strength back yet, Gorilla. He's searching for that second win, that second burst of energy, and it's just not coming.
Right back, almost tried to latch onto that front face lock once again in the corner. But Davey Boy comes up with a couple of nice short tackles. Oh, reversal. Davey Boy in hard and the Hammer over, but nobody there. And Davey Boy rams the head into the top turnbuckle.
Davey Boy picking up the speed.
Look out, power slam coming up.
A diving power slam.
Oh, beautifully executed. Down for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, was that close?
That was so close. And notice this time that there was no distinct push-off. He slipped up.
There comes the veteran again. He eases right out of the ring when it gets too hot for him.
He has no idea that Davey Boy, now he saw him out of the corner of his eye. It's become a foot race now. Valentine back inside and catches Davey Boy coming through the ropes.
There's that mark of experience that Ernie was talking about.
The Hammer says to the referee, get out of the way, let me do my thing.
Spinning.
Drops the head right into the lower abdomen area. Now spins around for that figure 4. If he can get it cinched up, he's got it locked in there. This could be all she wrote here.
Well, this is a test of power because he's extremely strong in the legs.
Davey Boy Smith shaking his head no. Sitting up there shaking his head no. Look at the guts on this youngster.
And listen at the fans, and Valentine is definitely confident.
Many a man would have already given up on this, and Davey Boy reaches the rope.
Valentine has said no. Valentine doesn't want to break it.
What a tremendous job on the part of Davey Boy Smith, not conceding after the figure 4 was slapped on and slapped on well.
Absolutely, but he's got such powerful legs that there may be some damage also to Valentine. We don't know because he didn't go really for his spinning leg lock again.
Handful of tights saved Davey Boy that time. And now a kickoff's going to save him once again as the Hammer goes reeling into the top turnbuckle. Davey Boy can hardly put any weight on that leg at all. And the Hammer goes across, but Davey Boy went down at the same time. That right leg is in a whole heap of trouble. Look out, Hammer drops one right on the back of the neck. I think he might have knocked him out with that. 1, 2, he got him.
A solid performance by Valentine there, very, very creditable, and he showed you just how good he is as a singles wrestler. Just a splendid performance by Valentine.
Tremendous job on the part of Greg the Hammer Valentine in putting away Davey Boy Smith. Let's get the official word.
The winner of this bout, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Greg the Hammer Valentine showed us what it's all about. Let's go back and take a look at how it was done. He's got him now. Watch this hammer. Wow. Right on the back of the neck. Knocked him right into the middle of next week. Hooks the leg. There's no getting out of that one.
That's why it's called the Hammer right there.
Wow. What a tremendous confidence. Are you awake? Are you asleep?
Oh, I'm just waiting till you see fit to roll that footage.
It's not a question of when I see fit, Bobby. It's when it appears in the program. And that happens to be the next particular thing on the venue.
As host, I have no say-so.
Yeah, well, say you want. When
I
we
wanna
show
see
it,
it
it's
now.
a horse of a different color.
I want to see it
You want
now.
to see it right now?
Yes.
Well, you're not going to see it right now because it's going to come up right after the next break, and that's when you're going to see it. If that doesn't make you happy.
Have you seen any of it, or do you know what this is about?
Oh, I haven't seen it per se, no, but I can assume as to what the world's champion is going to have to say because I understand
I know.
he's
I bet
extremely
you
upset.
He's going to make a public apology to Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful. He's probably going to admit.
Please, take a look. Look at even the likeness, the determination in the face. Take a look. Take a good look.
Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. There is Hulk Hogan. There is Hulk Hogan, your champion. You know what I think of Hulk Hogan?
Oh, please, please, brother. The world's heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan, is bigger than life, wrestling fans. This is the true world's champion, and you're going to take a good look at him in just a moment. Well, we're back, wrestling fans, and it's time this week here on Primetime Wrestling to go to the world's. What are you looking that way?
I'm waiting to see it.
No, it's going to be up here, Bobby. Why don't you
let's
get your
roll
act together? Take it easy, boy. You're very bent out of shape about this whole thing.
No, I'm not bent out of shape about anything. I'm here to just see what he has to say.
Bobby the Brain Heenan obviously bent out of shape. So without any further ado, let's go to Vince McMahon and the world's heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan.
Folks, before you start hanging and banging, I wonder if you could reflect upon the recent turn of events here in the WWF with you and Paul Orndorff.
Reflect, oh yeah, reflect, yeah man, I can reflect. All the good times we had together, the times we trained day in and out, pushed ourselves to the limit. You know, Paul Orndorff, I even can remember our families, brother, breaking bread together, Thanksgiving especially. And yeah, man, I can reflect and remember the oath, man, the oath you and I made, dude, to take it all the way to the top. And if for some reason we fell off track, we swore as blood brothers we'd go down together, man. Yeah, I can see it all now. I can remember.
Who says he didn't like to hear the cheer of the fans? He certainly does.
Hulk Jr., if you're so bad, why don't you sign for a tag match next week against Stud and Bundy? But I got another idea. Why don't you get yourself a partner? And I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. Huh, Hulk Jr.?
Let me tell you something right now, both of you. All I have to do is to get on the telephone and call Hulk Hogan, and he would be right here by my side. Tell what he's doing. I don't care if he's got 605 pounds on his back. You just go get him and tell him Mr. Wonderful wants to talk to him right now, immediately. Yeah, I've heard Orndorff wired before, but nothing like he was when he reached me at the gym. You know, he sounded unreasonable, almost incoherent. But you know, when he asked me to stand behind him against Bundy and Stud, I said, Paul, I'll be there all the way. Yeah, we're ready. No! Well, confusion. No! There's been a change of plans. I have agreed to have a match with the Moondogs.
Hulkster looking for the tag. Not yet.
Well, Orndorff says I still have things to do in here.
Man, what a fool, you can see it right there. Despite the fact that Orndorff was a one-man gang on an ego trip in the Moondogs match, that was okay with me. We had one more week, man. 1 week to get ready for the big one, Stud and Bundy. A whole week. The next day, I even flew to Tampa to make it easier on him. But all he wanted to do was argue. And then when he pulled a disappearing act in T-Town for 3 days, I didn't know where he was hiding out. The only thing he had the courtesy to do was leave a note for me, saying I'll see you at the arena. Man, what a fool I was. You know, I actually thought this dude needed some space to clear his head out, man. Just a little time. So I gave it to him. But then when I saw him on that night, the night of Stud and Bundy, I was worried because Orndorff, nothing had changed with you, man. Nothing. Get your head right. We've got Bundy and Stud right where we want them, man. Let's go out there and take them, brother. The old Mr. Wonderful ways. Just play it by your rules. Let me tell you something right now. Mr. Wonderful's ready. Hey, let this thing go about the phone call. Let's take care of business. Yeah, man, when the match started, you know, I thought Orndorff would forget about what was bothering him and just simply take care of business. But it was a match we wanted on. It was apparent, though, as things were progressing along. We weren't clicking, man. I knew we were having a problem. And then when I was getting double teamed, man, I heard Orndorff yelling at me, make a lunge, tag me in. I did exactly what you said, Orndorff. I made that big lunge, man. I tagged you in.
Trying to make the tag. The Hulkster trying to make the tag on Paul Orndorff. Backed into the corner.
After I made the tag, man, I kept wondering, where's Paul? Where did he go? What's going on, man? Why don't you help me?
Orndorff got hit in the eye as Hogan went backwards. And he got knocked clear out of the ring. But now look at this. Why is the referee disqualifying these guys?
And then finally, after Stud and Bundy beat me to a pulp, man, yeah, you came in. You finally came in.
Holds his hand up high for victory. They'll win this matchup, but nonetheless. Oh, no!
What in the world?
What?
What in the heck was that all about?
You gotta be... No! No! No!
You were Mr. Wonderful. You were it. You were stupendous. You showed the chicken wonder where was it. You showed wonderful. Where was it.
Wonderful! Wonderful! You sold out, man. You swore to me you'd never take shortcuts. You took the biggest shortcut of your life, Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful. You were on the verge of greatness, man. You had a whole generation of little hucksters training with you, man. Saying prayers with you, dude. Eating their vitamins with you, man. And you sold them out. You didn't sell me out, brother, because you can't take me. I took your best shot, man, when I was down. Now I'm gonna return that favor. But just like those spies, man, in Washington today who are selling our country out for diamonds, gold, ego, greed, jealousy, man. That's just what you are, Orndorff. You sold out a country, man. You sold out all those people that believed in you, man. Cheap shots, shortcuts. You make me sick, Wonderful. You'll never beat Hulkamania, man. I got a whole generation, man, that's gonna live forever because of this thought. Positive thoughts, that is. And we don't take shortcuts, dude. You know, I can even think every time you stuck your hand out to shake my hand, there was that thin film of perspiration coming off your palm that separated us as brothers, man. That separated us. The jealousy separated us between brotherhood. That's what it was. Orndorff, Hulkamania's got time. I got patience, brother. I ain't gonna take no cheap shot to take you down, dude. I'm gonna set you up and take you out for good, man. And all I got to say, those big wheels of Hulkamania, those big stones, man, they're gonna grind you up, man. But they grind ever so slowly.
Wow. The truth finally comes out. I would not like to be in Paul Orndorff's shoes when somewhere down the line he has to step into the ring and face that individual.
How much time do I have?
Yeah, a lot of time.
I don't want you or anybody else concerning yourself with dolls. I don't care how big these dolls get or how small these dolls get. You keep telling me, Monsoon, how I'm worried, how Orndorff's worried, how we have a lot to worry about. Here's the heavyweight champion of the world, soaking wet with his own sweat. He even said to you out there, the people, where were you, Orndorff, when I needed you? Where were you? That's the history of your life. Where was Orndorff? You constantly looked to Orndorff for help.
That's a lie.
Well, now you talk about a generation of fans that are going to live and grow on with you, and how you're determined you're going to stop Paul Orndorff and myself and everything. Hulk Hogan, you're operating on fumes. You're working without a net.
Your dissertation
it's over
is
for you.
over.
Hulkamania
It's
is
over
over.
for you. Well, wrestling fans, that wraps up another week here on Primetime Wrestling. As you can see by the empty chair sitting beside me, the brain has decided not to stick around for the end of the program. But, you know, if you go out there and you go through life and you tell the truth, then you can stay and face anything that comes down the road. But just like Paul Orndorff, Bobby the Brain Heenan leaves a lot to be desired in that respect. And once again, I reiterate that the world's heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan, and the multitude of fans and the multitude of people and the youth of America today that looks up to this great role model for these great United States, he's going to have a field day when he steps into the ring with the Benedict Arnold of the professional wrestling world, Paul Orndorff. Maybe the Brain will be back next week, maybe he won't. Until then, Gorilla Monsoon saying so long, everybody.